Okay, let's go ahead and create a volume here. So we're going to go ahead and connect to my array. And once we've connected the array, the command that we're going to use to do create a new volume is going to be new-a9vv. But we may not know the parameters to use to run that command. So we're going to do a get-help on that command. And you'll see all the parameters. Now this parameter list is really for somebody who's already used the parameters before and kind of just needs a reminder. We don't know what all those parameters mean. So let's do a same command, but do a -detailed at the end. Now if we do a -detailed, it's going to give us a whole list of all those parameters with the English definitions of what all the parameters mean. And usually it tells you if there's something expected, what the expectation should be. So that's how you find out what the parameters mean. But you also have the ability to do -examples, in which case it only shows you the examples of how to run the commands, usually showing you a minimal version here. So the first example here is going to be VV name, so I'm going to have to name my volume. I'm going to have to tell it where to get its data from, its CPG name, which is the source of the storage. I'm going to have to tell it the size. So a lot of other commandlets, like -id, if you don't specify an ID, it'll simply choose the next available one. If you don't put a comment, that's fine. You can put a comment, you don't have to put a comment. But let's go ahead and run this command. But of course, we don't know the CPG name, so let's do a get-a9 CPG. So if we do a get-a9 CPG, you can see we've got a CPG named SSD_R6. So let's do a new-a9 VV -VV name. Let's call this testball 3. And then I need my CPG name. SSD_R6. Then I'm going to need my size. So I just type S and hit tab and it'll fill the rest in. Now 1024, because that's megabytes, that's a gigabyte. Let's make it 10 gigabytes in size. Now when I run this command, that's the minimal command, it's going to throw an error. And that error is going to tell you, and again, you got to read these errors. The error is going to tell you there's an invalid input. One of the parameters is required, is missing. I either need to have a parameter called TPVV set or a parameter called reduce set. So it's telling me what the problem is. So I'm going to run that command again by hitting up arrow, TPVV, and I'm going to set that to true. TPVV, by the way, if you look at the definition under detailed, is how you make sure that it does thin provisioning. So it wants you to explicitly say, do thin provisioning. So that volume has now been created. And you can see all the default features it's going to actually set in here. Now, I can create another volume just as easily. Let's make this one only 1 gigabyte in size. Of course, there's an error, and it says that volume already exists. So again, this is about reading those error messages. So I'm going to hit up arrow again to get that command back. And we're going to change the name of that to testball 4. And now the command succeeds. Do it again, change to testball 5, and make it 100 times the size. So creating volumes is a very, very fast thing to do with PowerShell Toolkit. Those volumes can be very, very, very easily created. Let's go ahead and take a look at those volumes. If I do a get-a9vv, I should have a list of my volumes. But of course, we have that problem that the array has got hundreds of volumes defined. And how do I find the one that I care about? Well, I know the name, but maybe there's an easier way. The first thing I want to do is run that same command, but pipe it to format table. And I don't want all this information for every volume. I don't need to know the short name, the deduplication state, the compression state. I just care about the ID, the name, and maybe the size. So let's do ID, name, size. And again, I just copy these directly out of here. Notice again, spelling is important. Size, capital M, lowercase I, capital B. And now I get a list of volumes that's more reasonable. So now, the volume with the ID of 8461 is test ball 3, test ball 4, and test ball 5. You can see the three sizes. Now, we're going to show you how to map these to the next on the next step. But of course, this is a shared environment. I don't want to have extra volumes sitting out there, so I can do the remove command. And let's remove volume. Let's remove test vol 5 because it's the one that takes the most space. And that should show you kind of how easy it is to create a volume using the PowerShell toolkit.